Importantly, the world's oldest democracy needs to make way for younger candidates. American politics needs to take some lessons when it comes to seeing how younger leaders from their European counterparts are being promoted. In fact, in Europe, it's a 28-year-old Jordan Bardella from Marine Le Pen's party who's taking on the present incumbent, who's a 35-year-old prime minister. And that just tells the story and the disconnect that exists between the European voters and American voters. French polls is what we are discussing on Wide Angle today. It could change the course and direction of French politics going forward. French are voting for the National Assembly in 2 phases, and Macron and the world will know if he will have to live in cohabitation. One where he continues as the president, but the prime minister, the one who's responsible for legislative business, is from another party, Marine Le Pen's party, RN or National Rally. Given Marine Le Pen's anti-globalization stance, battles with the European Union, a history of friendliness with Russian President Vladimir Putin, it could be that France may be in for some instability or possibly even disruption. Who knows? President Macron, as a centrist, has backed a more globalized worldview. Le Pen, on the other hand, is a votary of greater protectionism, inward-looking approach. And this could lead to a logjam in the assembly. Big policy decisions could be unlikely. Future of trade could be impacted between France and some of its major partners, including India. This is not a scenario that is unlikely. It's very much within the possibilities that exist. And the outcome of French polls matter to India for 3 very important reasons. 1, the protectionist trade view. 2nd, the hawkish stance that the right-wing party has on immigration. And lastly, France is the biggest maritime power in EU. A Eurosceptic PM could signal a change in the Indo-Pacific policy of the entire EU. And that, of course, will have huge ramifications for how India's strategic direction will be for the Indo-Pacific. Now, European Union is a bloc of 27 countries. India is the 3rd largest trading partner with 88 billion plus in terms of trade in goods in 2021, about 11% of India's overall trade for the year. With Le Pen's party being Eurosceptic and even some would say anti-European, EU trade is bound to be impacted. And world needs to brace for some very contrary signals that may come from Paris in the next couple of months. Macron would be in charge of foreign, defense and the larger European policy, but Le Pen would be in charge of domestic policy. And here's how it's going to play out. Just for an example, viewers, if President Macron backs Ukraine's membership into the EU, he needs legislation to back it up. But without a majority in the National Assembly, he can't do that. So his agenda is going to be very quickly derailed with an ideologically opposed government led by Marine Le Pen. So who knows? Macron's big gamble could lead to big instability both for France, for EU and for the larger world.